automate. What does automation do? It amplifies the current process, right? And it can amplify the current process just as is. If it's a good process, it would amplify that. If it's a bad process, it would amplify that as well.
So, hello, thank you very much for joining our podcast, The Process People. And as you know, this show is really an open conversation that we want for and about the people who are doing the real work of transforming organizations and influencing also the future of work. And this is the reason why we wanted to have you with us, because for what you are currently doing, but also considering the fact that you have also a real and concrete experience in the industry, and you have moved after 12 years or 13 years of practice for companies, including like IBM.
Yes.
You have moved to the more educational part, and now you are inspiring others. And this is really the reason why we wanted to have you with us at the Process People podcast. So thank you very much, Anita, for being with us today. And first, for people who haven't come across your organization before, can you tell us what you do serve today and what problem do you solve for them today?
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, Ellen, for having me in your podcast. Thank you to you and thank you to Famla AI. And I'm so glad to be here. Right. So
Okay, great.
as you just introduced my name, I'm Anita Stalin and I'm a master black belt in Lean Six Sigma and also other project management methodology. And my work involves coaching and supporting organizations. I work with transformation teams across the globe, especially who are trying to build a culture of change and implement operational excellence along with the rapidly changing AI. Because mostly one challenge that I see in common in all the organization is that they want to modernize the processes rapidly, but they still work with fragmented processes and siloed thinking. And my work and my team's work help bridge that gap with operational excellence, with digital transformation, critical thinking, and also building a system rather than just building operational transformation.
Okay. Well, what is more specifically, what is your role among your team today?
Because everything is evolving, our work, my team's work has also evolved. So it spans from training to also consultation, coaching, complete business transformation. Instead of just training people in several processes alone, we would have like a complete transformation. We would train people, we would certify them on Lean Six Sigma. That's quite common. But what we do now is how can Lean Six Sigma methodology integrate with the rapidly growing AI systems? Because it is so easy to automate things. It would amplify, automate. What does automation do? It amplifies the current process, right? And it can amplify the current process just as is. If it's a good process, it would amplify that. If it's a bad process, it would amplify that as well. So me and my team that is where we would bridge that gap, and we would try to reduce or eliminate the waste, the extra bulge, the non-value adding activities, which is not adding any value to the customer or even the business. So we would want to only keep the ones that are value adding for the customers and the business. And then we would allow AI transformation so that amplifies only the good things and only the value add. So it involves everything.
Excellent. That's exactly the purpose. And I think we are going to have a very exciting exchange. And we really want it as an open conversation. And we like to start our podcast with some icebreaker, as we say. I have just a very easy and funny question for you. Who is the most famous person you have ever run into, and what was the situation? And then after, we will start with a more serious and specific exchange. Have you ever met any famous people, and can you tell us?
Wow, that's really amazing. It's It's a different way of ice breaking, because we've seen icebreaker like a game or some other questions and all, but asking whether you met a famous person or not, that's really amazing. In the last decade, like 5 to 10 years, my team and I have got a lot of opportunities meeting famous people in the industry and also outside, celebrities and cricketers and stuff like that. But if you ask me just about one person, then I would say it's in our ILSSI conference 2022 in Romania. We met David Hutchins, who's very famous in our field, very famous in operational excellence. And he's almost 90 years old now. And he is so energetic, and there's so much to learn from his rich experience. So what happens whenever we meet any famous people, we just say, okay, we can click a picture and maybe we could take an autograph like the old days. But here, John Dennis, as you know, the chairman of ILSSI, allowed me to sit beside David Hutchins, and he said, okay, that table is all yours. And I sat beside him, and listening to the stories from the pioneer group about how Lean and Six Sigma transformed the whole world was really an amazing experience for me.
Brilliant.
So,
Okay. That's a very good one. Amazing. Yeah.
yeah, of
I
course.
hope
Thank
you
you.
have the same type of amazing experience for your next convention happening soon, I guess, in September, right?
Yes, it's in Slovakia in
In
September.
Slovakia this year.
Slovakia,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So I would like to learn more about your experience and your perspective. And in that respect, what's a piece of conventional business wisdom you followed early on, and before realizing later it was completely wrong for you and you changed it? That's also very interesting to because that's really shaping coming from the experience. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, absolutely. Even today, what happens is when we are in any kind of training, it's always 80-20, like Pareto, right? We only learn 20% of it, and 80% is what you learn with experience on the field. The same thing happened with me. Though I was a black belt and master black belt when I was employed with corporates, what we would do is we would try to identify which department is doing not the great, right? The lowest, if I say. We would just look at numbers and we say, okay, out of the 10 departments, I think this department is scoring very less. So let us just concentrate on that department. And then we would say, okay, this department is not giving us enough revenue. So let's try doing something. And if it is not working, we could dissolve the team. Right. So that worked to some extent, but now I realize that that was not the best way of transforming. Now, over the years where I've worked with several industries, now I know that it has to be system thinking rather than just process improvement. So when we are just doing process improvement, it was more of a siloed thinking. All the department would work within their department and they want to improve their own department and not thinking how it is going to impact their upstream or downstream department, right? So not only vertical, but also horizontal. So with experience, we identified that the whole system has to be evolved, not only one department that is not doing that great. That is just a byproduct, or you would say that is just a symptom that this particular department is not working enough or it is not giving us enough revenue, but it's always top down and bottom up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the companies would say, you know what, we have a top down system. Some would say we have bottom up system. We always give importance to people, but I would call it a flipped pyramid. I would say both are important, right? So when it is important from a top down perspective, when you have a vision in mind, you have to cascade it to your people. That becomes top down, right? Then the vision, mission, your planning and execution, and then execution happens as per planning towards the mission and mission towards the vision. So I would call it a flipped pyramid, and that has worked very well. And we would also incorporate that in our trainings and our coaching sessions. We tell them, don't just send us your junior managers or mid managers. You should also send top team, because when we make the juniors smarter, how are the seniors going to deal with smarter people, isn't it? So it is like a complete system thinking rather than just working in silos. That's what we have realized over the decades.
I fully agree. That sounds very similar to my own experience as well. And I'm convinced that top down or bottom up alone can't work as well. They need to be combined. I like what you and you called it the flip pyramid.
The flipped pyramid, yeah, the flipped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you always you have a pyramid like this, and then you also have to flip it.
Yeah.
So flip.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could add one thing to the standard playbook in your discipline of continuous improvement, operational excellence, what would it be? What is the field not yet doing what it should be according to you?
Okay. What do you think people are not doing and they should start doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Most of the organizations, or I would say all the organizations, are now moving towards AI, which is a good thing. Very good. But when they want to modernize it with AI, they should also see to it that you need to be a change enabler. People should not feel that change is imposed on them, but people should feel that they are also a journey of this change, right? So you make people ready, you take people's opinion, you always bring them in the journey of this transformation, whether you want to digitize it or you want to completely bring AI in it, because end of the day, we deal with people. We don't deal with machine all the time. Machine can only do whatever you teach, and it is going to be a repetition of whatever we teach AI, right? Also, if you go back to several years, the Toyota way is something that the world is talking about even now. You know why? Because if you Google about the lean principles, you would only see 5 principles. And everybody knows, whoever is in the lean field, everybody knows lean has 5 principles. But Toyota added the 6th principle, which is involving and respecting people. And they are people managers. Yeah, right? More from a process manager or a product management. They wanted to empower their people so that people could take decisions at their level. And that made Toyota more successful than the companies that came even before Toyota, though they were giants in their industry, but they were not as successful as Toyota has been because of this one principle, which is involving people, respecting people. So that is something that I see that people are some of the organizations are lacking, that fail miserably, because they say, okay, now we have AI, we have digitization, we can lay off people. That doesn't work that way. You have to bring people in this journey. You have to make people change enabler. It's more human centered than just AI centered. So that's what I think is missing, and organizations that are successful have understood that very clearly.
Okay, amazing. I'm really convinced as well about this people dimension. Also, from the fact that from my side, I've always worked in the service industry, in logistics and transportation, and that's people business by nature. And I fully agree. And I hope that more and more AI will become a people enabler and not people replacement for sure. And I hope we will discover that, and everybody will be convinced about that as soon as possible. Okay. Is there today a book or a framework or an idea that has shaped how you think today? And can you tell us more about things that most of people, listening this podcast may have not discovered yet?
Yes, there are several books and framework that has helped me during my course of time when I was working with most of the corporates. In bits and parts, it worked a lot. But when I became a transformation coach or a leader, I understood that a bit of everything complements each other. We've always learned that Lean and Six Sigma do not compete with each other. They complement each other. But the reality is that Lean Six Sigma, both together, never compete with any other methodologies or any other framework. Lean Six Sigma complements all the framework and methodologies that's available now. whether it is your Prince2, your EFP, any other project management methodologies, Lean and Six Sigma help. Why? Because Lean helps you to remove waste and make the process more efficient. And
All right.
Six Sigma helps you to improve accuracy and improve the quality. And that's all we want. We want
Absolutely.
the process to be more efficient and effective. So this framework complements all the methodologies. Now, when you're looking at just process level, then in process level, your OPEX, which is operational excellence, or PEX, business excellence, or PEX, which is process excellence, all of that work very well in bits and parts. But this Hoshin Kanri framework, which goes very well with the flipped pyramid that I spoke about earlier, it helps you to build your KPIs and your KRAs such that it is not one person's goal. When I'm working towards my goal, it is also supporting my manager's goal. When my manager is working towards his own goal, it is working towards his manager's goal, and so on. And everybody has a common goal, and the KRAs and the KPIs, everything. So your Hoshin Kanri, Lean, your PEX, OPEX, BEX, Prince2 methodologies, PMP, all of them work together. It is just like all the ingredients that we have in our kitchen. We are not going to use my tea powder and coffee both. If I want to make my drink, I will either use coffee or tea, depending on what I want, isn't it? So all these frameworks together are like a kitchen. And you are only going to pick up those ingredients that is necessary for you to cook for that particular time, right? Whether that's your lunch, dinner, breakfast, or it's just a stimulant. So I think over the years, I can see that, because I don't want to, I would not say that this particular methodology is better than this, or this one doesn't work at all. It has worked for me over the years. It's been 24 years for me, and all of them have worked whenever I wanted to pick up anything, but it should match the problem areas. Then it would definitely work.
And after 24 years, what's a typical week actually looks like for you? Not the calendar, but the reality. Where does your time and where does your energy actually go?
Yeah. So honestly, now we do not have like one particular framework for a week, but it is everything. It's also training and coaching, certifying companies, certifying people. It's not only corporates anymore. We have also dived into universities and colleges now, because people like you and me must have learned all these methodologies after 10 or at least 5 years of experience. But we want to make the generation ready the moment they come into corporates, and we want them to be like an asset to any company and not like an internship and you are learning from us. So we have now moved from a corporate culture towards colleges and universities. So we support the faculty, the professors, whoever deliver lectures on project management in Lean and Six Sigma. So honestly, if I would talk about a week, it is no more a typical week like we used to have several years ago. Like this week is for training, and this week is for coaching, and this week is for implementation. The week is, in a week we do everything, and it's more well designed, rather than just making it monotonous that, let's just train, let's just certify. No, it's not like that. What we have done is we have moved a little further from corporate to universities. So along with setting up transformation and business process excellence in corporates, we've also seen that the corporates would like fresh talent from colleges and universities. So we in the ILSSI team support the universities and colleges with project management. If you don't have the time to support all the students directly, we support the faculty, the professors who deliver lectures on project management and change management, business transformation. We support them and also integrate this system into our educational system, so that when our students are ready, we want them to be ready to be like an asset to an organization or any corporate, rather than the corporate saying, okay, you guys are doing your internship and you have to learn from us first. No, it is, we have already taught them, we've made them ready for the corporate world, and they can definitely bring a lot of changes. and fresh minds, isn't it? They have fresh minds. They are more energetic than us, and they are hungry for knowledge. And the way they adapt to these methodologies, and they give us ideas. Okay, let's do this. This in AI, we can do this. This digital transformation can help us with this. So they are definitely an asset to corporates, I must say.
Yeah. In that respect, is there something still sitting on your desk that you have not cleaned? You have not clean answer for yet?
Yeah, very good question, Elaine. Some things like, because we are working so fast with AI, of course, AI is doing a great job. My worry usually is, what are we doing, or what can we do to make our people on par with this technology that is running fast? What happens is, in an organization, when they feel, oh, we want this growth, and then we are digitizing everything, so let us hire new people, because when you hire young people, maybe they can work with lesser salary than our subject matter experts who are in our company. And they would say, okay, I think if we lay off people who are already 15 years or 10 years or 20 years in our organization, I think we can lay off because they are not doing great in our organization. So I want to change that mindset, that laying off people and just hiring new people is not going to solve. When you want to lay off someone, let's say when Elaine goes from this organization, it is not one person. It's the wealth of knowledge that goes with Elaine, because Elaine has been in the organization for more than 10 years. He has the wealth of knowledge, which, somebody where you just bring someone from outside is not going to justify. So we want to align that. Of course, we want fresh talent. We want to have modern technology, but at the same time, how can someone who is a subject matter expert and has the wealth of knowledge of the organization work together? So this is my worry. And we have worked to some extent, but it's not, people are not really open to accept this at this point in time. Maybe it'll take some time. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
And this year, what does the success look like for this year as per your objectives?
Success for me would be just looking at, out of all the projects that we've been doing in business transformation, how many were successful, not only from a revenue perspective, but from all the important perspective. It is not only finance, but also customer, and also internal process, and your learning and development for employees. To be very precise, your balanced scorecard. So out of all the projects that has come to us, we want to know how many projects and business transformation were done successfully in all these terms, from a business perspective, which is financial, from a customer's perspective, taking care of customers' expectation, exceeding customers' expectation, their worries, their queries, and whatever they are not very happy with that, with the organization. The third one is also about internal processes, whether we have made our processes easier, better, faster, cheaper, and also safer than how it was. And the last one is also from an employee perspective. Have we worked enough for learning and development of employees, making their life easier, better, faster, and happier in the organization? Because it is so true. When you take care of your employees take care of your customers, right? And when you take care of your customers would never leave you. They would always be loyal to you. And when customers are loyal to you, money will follow, right? So
Exactly.
from this perspective, we would like to know how many business transformation were we able to do from all these aspects and not from one aspect. As a consultant or as a business transformation coach, we often like to measure success with money, right? But that money should not be at the cost of employees are unhappy, we've laid off people, or it's only machine and no people. We don't want that. We want it more to be human-centered transformation, a complete business transformation, having system.
Yeah, it would be short-term money or easy money, but not sustainable, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the long run, what are we doing?
Are there some friction points today? What is standing between you and that as of today in order to be successful at the end of the year?
Yeah. What we have identified now is people feel the moment you integrate AI, it is going to solve all the problems. Okay. Which is true. But AI is not going to replace the nuances, the judgment that people would bring in. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I've seen organizations, everybody now some of the organization want to transform and they want to be like at the top notch in their industry. There are some organization who are very scared of what to do now because there are giants in the industry, and I think AI is going to eat up everybody's job and business. So I see a lot of fear of AI. I also see siloed thinking. I still see that organization, it is more individual competition rather than thinking that it is teamwork as an organization. So the moment there is a consultant or anything that the organization wants to change, I see that there is a lot of fear of AI. And when there is a lot of fear in AI, every department would want to show how important their department is and why they don't want AI in their department. And also resistant to change, which is a problem for human beings, right? Nobody wants change. So resistant to change, fear of AI, also individual competition rather than thinking from a team's perspective or a customer's perspective. Everybody just would like to say, oh, you know what, individually I'm doing this, but if this stops, then maybe the business would not run. So whether I'm an outsider or one of the team, we are not able to get the best out of what can we do. In some of the organizations, I'm not saying all of them, but in organizations where they have a very good culture of change management and continuous improvement, people have also built the mentality and mindset of people that they know that when anything happens, we should always be thinking about business, because if business is strong, it is definitely going to keep us in the business. But if the business falls, what's going to happen to us, right? So
Yeah.
that mindset and having continuous improvement culture, fear of change, fear of AI is what comes between us and what we vision.
And talking about AI itself, anything that anything that you expected AI to change and that AI has not changed yet?
Didn't expect AI to change that, but I think very soon that is going to happen. Is about emotional balance and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Of course. Of course, because AI is not thinking emotionally about anyone as of yet, right? It has to in the future. So emotional intelligence is what I think AI still has to think about from an employee perspective and also from customers' perspective. For example, if I want AI to do something and I say, hey, can you complete this conversation, this 30-minute conversation in 1 minute? I think AI can do it. But what AI can't do is about the emotion. What people emote is something that AI can't do yet, and also cannot be like a mentor for us and criticize wherever required, like a constructive criticism from an emotional perspective, from a human perspective. If we say, okay, just cut down this process takes about 45 minutes, make it 20 minutes, it's very good at doing that. But AI is not really good at thinking, oh, what will happen if these processes go? What is going to happen to the emotion of people? Where is the human touch? I think that's something that is lacking.
Okay, absolutely. Brilliant. Fully agree. And I would like to end this session by any advice that you would give to, or you are even currently giving to the young graduates who wants to perform in operational excellence, in continuous improvement field, and would like, why not, to be in your role tomorrow. What would a piece of advice you could them?
Yeah. Sure. I think the younger generation are more focused, and they definitely know more than what we did at this age, right? At a young age, like you and me might have not known what exactly we need to do, no, but then they are more focused and they know that they have to do this, which is good. But my advice to the younger generation would be, don't rely on just one degree or one certification or just one particular skill, right? You have to be multi-skilled these days. You need to not only be very good in a particular technical skill, but it is also people management skill, continuous improvement. It's also strategic. You need to think more strategic rather than technically what you have learned. Don't just go by, oh, I have one degree and I have one certification and that's going to do wonder in my life. That's not going to happen. And try to get into jobs which make you uncomfortable, because the more uncomfortable you are at the early age, you become more resilient and you also learn more. You learn more at this age. So challenge yourself with challenging tasks. Don't try to go for easy jobs that, oh, I have easy job and easy money. Rather, you would like to say whatever money comes, that's a bonus. But what you are doing earlier time is, especially what can you learn, right? Because you learn a lot. And when you are young in the company, there are seniors who are ready to help you. But once you become a senior, maybe you become rigid and you will have to unlearn and then learn again. But now you don't have to unlearn at all. You're ready. So look from a horizontal and vertical perspective, not just one perspective from an educational standpoint or a skill point standpoint, and get experience as soon as possible in your career. That's going to get you more, that's going to take you places rather than just collecting degrees and certificates and not doing it. So do the job. Go to the gemba. Gemba is where the work is done. So go and see yourself in the gemba. Go and see it yourself. That's more.
And don't be afraid about leaving your comfort zone.
Yes, don't be afraid. Correct. Your comfort zone makes you more comfortable, but your learning stops. You don't want to do that.
Exactly. It's even, I think it can be even very dangerous because it can comfort you in some conviction and being blind about what's going outside and
Yes.
all the changes and adaptability and evolving is by nature what a strong asset in a company should manage.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can be automated and even more automated than ever, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anita Stalin, about that time. Anita, it was really a great pleasure to have you with us. It's Process People podcast today. Thank you very much for this great input. It was really a very good time, a great time for me with you today. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And I
Thank you
hope
very much.
we can have soon the opportunity to meet in person.
Yeah, we should meet in Slovakia in the conference, definitely. And thank you so much, Elaine and Famla AI, for having me here and giving me this opportunity to share whatever has worked for me. And it's also going to work for many others and all our students and our supporters. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very good rest of the day in Mumbai. Take care. Bye-bye.